Hey guys, welcome to my lesson plan. I wasn't able to do it in my actual classroom because of um, student privacy and all those great things. So I'm just going to be doing a screencast here so you can see me and you can also see what I'm looking at since I'll be showing us through a website for part of my lesson plan. Um, an individual student I would like to focus on, my student Parker. He he's the student I did my individual SETT on. He is a 20-year-old student at the transition program I work on. He has autism and ADD. Some quick things on Parker. He's a very intelligent young man. He scored a 28 on his ACT in high school, which I believe is higher than I scored. He likes to socialize a lot. That can also get him off track a bit in class. He plans to attend college. He's definitely capable of being in college. He would just need some accommodations. For example, academically, he's certainly intelligent enough to handle college content. However, some of the organizational pieces of college and things, because of his disability, those are the things he would require some accommodations for, and yeah, those type of things. He can become easily frustrated when he doesn't have clear direction on an assignment. So as a teacher, we just have to make sure to be clear about those things. He loves to write. He's like an aspiring journalist. That's kind of what he wants to go into. He can become easily stressed or anxious in groups of people he doesn't know well. Um, and he needs to be reminded to stay on task at least a couple times each class. However, he works really good with staff that he's most comfortable with, that he's built a really good rapport with. He definitely stays on task better with those staff. Even though Parker might appear social at times, he's definitely an introvert and he needs time to himself every now and then. He can definitely handle the group work and he's fine with the group work. However, he does need some individual work because he does really well working on tasks by himself as long as he has direction and it kind of helps him recharge. So he's the individual student I kind of am focusing on. However, the lesson I'm going to be doing is for an entire class. I'm going to be teaching the class how to use a technology called Jeopardy Labs that I really like. I've used it in the past. It is what you probably think it is. It's plain Jeopardy. However, Jeopardy Labs is a template you can use for it that's a lot simpler than other Jeopardy templates out there. The class that we're doing this for is a healthy relationships class that I currently co-teach in. And so the Jeopardy template we're going to be doing for it is for healthy relationships. And yeah, and so what I would do is I would go to the Jeopardy Labs website here. Let me get back to the home page. Yes, leave the page. Here we go. And so this is the home page. You can create your own template by start building, or you can browse through their huge library of templates they already have. That's what we're going to do. So you click on Start Browsing, and you just type in the type of template you want. I want healthy relationships, so I'll just type that in. And I found a really good one. It's the first one that appears. Here it is. So you click on it, and then I typically teach anywhere between 10 to 13 students in this class. So break them up into two teams. Press Start, and here it is. It's already laid out for me. I explain the 5 categories. I explain each category as 100 through 500 point questions. Teams take turns choosing a category and a question. If they get it right, they're in points. If they get it wrong, the other team gets a chance to score. So for example, if one team wants to say communication for 300, you click on it and the question appears. It's the ability to identify and share another's feelings. Let's say that team says empathy. I click on correct response, and there it is. So they're right. So I click continue. What I would do then is, oh, it's not appearing. There it is. Is I would so the 300 continue. I would give them this plus sign, so that gave them 300 points. And the question I just used disappeared, and that's a really good tool for teachers because then you're not confused about what questions you've already used and have not used. let's say that team got the question wrong, you would just minus 300 points, and there it is. Yep, and so that's Jeopardy Labs. So you would just go through it until all of it's filled out. Team with the most points wins. I really enjoy using games in the classroom. I think it's great. I love competition. I think that it's good for everyone, even if you're not competitive. I think it's a nice break from traditional classroom learning. And so what I would kind of go through for the class, I described what Jeopardy Labs is. I walked them through how to get there, how to browse your own. My goal for the class is for them to eventually create their own Jeopardy Lab game in a subject of their choice, as long as it's appropriate, and then we can play it, for fun at a later date. Jeopardy Labs is available through iPads, Chromebooks, which we have at my school. Speech-to-text programs can be implemented into it. We have an individual student with cerebral palsy, and it can be difficult for him to work a computer, so the speech-to-text program for him would be very helpful. So Jeopardy Labs is a tool they can use for future use. It's not required for them to use it to create a game, but it definitely is a tool I wanted to make available to them. And it's nice because a lesson like this helps a student like Parker to work on his social skills by working in a group with other students. And also hopefully avoid his anxiety because we're doing something lighthearted like playing a game with his peers, while also learning about the subject matter of our healthy relationships class. So we played the game with the students, we kept track of the score, and then if there's a question where like neither team knew the answer or only a few people did and they're confused, then we would stop the game and as a group just quickly discuss the answer, why it was that way, just for learning. And so you can break the students into groups or individually, whatever they're comfortable with. So if a student like Parker, for some reason, is feeling really overwhelmed at a time, he can just do it individually. And then for closing, what I would want to do with this class is that for an assessment, I would want them to fill out some type of exit ticket. So on the exit ticket, I want them to write something new they learned by playing the game and some questions, at least one question they might still have. So for example, one of those questions that we might have had to discuss shortly as a group, that could be a good example of something they learned because we discussed it and they might have learned new information. And then a question they might still have about a subject or something they might want to learn more about concerning that subject. And then before they leave the class, they give me those exit tickets, and I can use those as kind of a guide for my future plans for the class, what I still might need to elaborate more on, what I can kind of leave alone if they're really, really grasping something really well. I totally forgot how to create your own, which our students would be doing. That's part of it. So here's the home screen again. All you have to do is click Start Building. It brings you to this page. All you have to do is create a password, re-enter the password, and then start building. So here's the build screen. Let's say a student wanted to do their Jeopardy Labs on Pixar movies. So there's the title, Pixar movies. Great. So that's the title. Category, we'll do Finding Nemo. It's a good one. $100 question. So this is where you create your questions. So here we say, this is Marlon's friend who has a bad memory. And question, what is Dory? And then click on continue. I just created that question and it disappeared. So again, this is another nice tool of keeping track of the ones you've already done. And yeah, my cat's like attacking my arm, sorry. Yeah, so that's Jeopardy Labs. Like I said, I really like it as a tool to use in the classroom. It's a great technology for them to use to play a game, yet also review their information as kind of an informal assessment. So yeah, thanks for watching my presentation.